Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to Nation Studio. Today I am going to explain about .NET Core Web API development. So basically this video is for the people who wanted to become a full stack developer. A person is already having an experience in front end. He is capable to build applications in front end, but you wanted to learn .NET and then he can become a full stack developer. I am going to explain step by step in 4 steps how can we create a .NET Core API in one video. So basically let us start. So we wanted, before this we have some basic knowledge on .NET Core and .NET and some basic knowledge on C#. So if you are able to understand some basic things in C#, yes, you can able to build backend development, backend APIs. So now let us start with very basic. I am going to create one simple web API where I can able to build some simple crude APIs. So let us start from scratch. Okay, so you need 3 things. Okay, so you can build this in VS Code. I am going to explain from scratch. Okay, so first you wanted to install VS Code. Okay, so once VS Code is already installed, I have already installed VS Code. So now second step is there is a .NET so where the official Microsoft website where you can able to install for Windows X64. So now I have already if you see, I have already downloaded the .NET SDK X64. Yes, there is a slight confusion here. Okay, so don't install runtime. You just try to install build apps SDK, which is the stable version is 10.0203. Okay, so if you are able to install this VS Code and then if you are able to install .NET SDK, so now jump into VS Code. Yes, in VS Code, if you want to run web APIs, you wanted to install two things, C# and then C# dev kit, so that in VS Code you can able to run APIs. Otherwise you need to install Visual Studio Code. That will become a little bit complex. So let us simple build web APIs in VS Code with installing this extension C# and then C# dev kit. Okay, so this is second step. So as soon as when you are trying to install the extension, so basically you wanted to run a couple of commands. So basically I have already, so this is the .NET new web API .NET n/n my API. Okay, so this will create a simple repository for you guys, so which I have already created, so which contains basically when you're trying to run this, where simple repository which is created called program.cs. Okay, as soon as the program.cs, this is the entry point of our program web API. So basically here you need to enable the Swagger. Okay, as soon as when you are trying to enable this, so you can able to see the API's endpoints in Swagger. Okay, so as soon as when you are trying to run this, your basic repository which is created. Okay, so this is the very simple steps you need to do. One is add the controller, add the API Explorer and Swagger, and then create an extension for app, then enable the Swagger so that you can able to see the Swagger endpoints. Okay, then app.map controller, which help you to map the list of controllers. I'm going to explain the controllers and all. So there, this is the simple steps to run your APIs. So if you see, after that, so now my next so basically this is the simple program.cs setup. So now next step, second step. So now this is my, I have created a one model called product. So basically I wanted to explain you guys simple things, okay, where I can able to add the product, delete the product, and then get the product. So basically I have created one simple model which contains this product ID, okay, product name, and then product price. Okay, so now I wanted to build the APIs. So what I did is I have just created the one controller folder under my API. Under my API I have created model where I have created a controller. So basically I have built simple APIs. Okay, so basically this is a simple API which contains get API and post API and then put API and then delete API. So simple APIs which I have created by extending the models. Okay, so basically where you are able to see simply what I did is I have created some mock data. I am fetching the products, okay, products which contains two products, one is laptop and then mobile, where I can just simply return the products. So this is very basic step. So moving forward I have just created a simple APIs. Okay, there will be multiple things come into picture where we need, for example, I have just created the returning the products. Assume that this API will products will be coming from backend, I mean to say DB. We need to extend the create the products there. I wanted to return from the product from the DB. Those are all things I am going to explain. So since this video I am just covering how to return simple APIs in simple steps, so that this is very beginner point where you can start your .NET Core. So basically I have created a controller. So as soon as when you are trying to create these controllers, so what you need to do is run one of the command called .NET run. Okay, as soon as when you do a .NET run, so here you can able to see your I can say your server is running now. So using these long settings, so building the application, and then it started, server is started, and then started the deployment. Okay, and your APIs will be available in your local host. So once these all steps done, last step is where you can able to see the APIs. So Swagger is running. So basically you can able to see the list of APIs got launched, where you can able to see products and then product, and then this API will be getting the product details by passing the product ID. Okay, and then this is the updating the product ID, and then this is the deleting the product. This is very simple crude app where I have created to start from scratch. Okay, so now let's run this execute. Okay, so where I wanted to fetch the APIs. Okay, so basically where you can able to get the products by fetching all the products. So if you wanted to create the product, so if you wanted to fetch the product ID, for example, if you see the product ID is, I'll pass, let me try it out. I am passing product ID equal to 1, and then I am executing. So basically I am fetching the product detail. So where you can able to happily you can able to see the list of APIs which is launched, and then you can able to see under the Swagger. So now let me explain the workflow. Okay, so in simple term. Okay, so basically so in simple terms what I did is install the .NET SDK, install the VS Code, and install SDK in VS Code. So extension SDK C# dev kit. Then what is the use of this dev kit is it will help you to run the C# code in your VS Code. Okay, and then create a simple controller. I have created one simple controller with mock data. I have launched the application where you can able to see the Swagger UI where which consists of list of APIs. Okay, so basically so this is in overall workflow code. Okay, where I have created a simple repository, created a program.cs controller, and then launching the Swagger with mock data. Yeah, this is all about simple web API creation. Moving forward, my next step is where I will be getting this data in real time, getting the data from API, I mean to say DB, and then there will be multiple things will come into a picture. I am sure I'm going to cover those in my next video.